Hello, my name is Katie Graykowski, and I write mystery, young adult, and romance novels. My newest book, right here, Texas Rose Happily Ever After. It is number 5 in the Texas Rose series. Look, I wrote it. See, my name is right here. Please note that the backside of my office is super organized and clean looking. Don't look at the front. Okay, my latest book, Texas Rose Ranch Happily Ever After, is the 5th and maybe final book in the Texas Rose Ranching series. I don't know, I'm toying with a sequel, who knows. It is about the 5th Rose brother. The Texas Rose Ranch is the 2nd largest ranch in Texas, and this is the 5th and final brother. His name is T-Bone. It's a nickname. It's a whole ranching southern thing, and this is his story. He falls in love with Ailey von Claremont, who is, of course, a princess who's just wandering down a road in Texas. Why wouldn't you? I mean, look, here's one of my tiaras. I could be a princess wandering down a road in Texas, except tiaras are surprisingly heavy and itchy. And honestly, you know what? You can have them. I might have a few, though, that I wear on special occasions. Well, I had an editor who emailed me. She saw my other books and said, I see that you are a successful writer. Would you like to write a series for our company? And I said, sure. She said, do you have any ideas? And I said, well, I've been toying with a ranching series. I've also been toying with a hospital series, kind of like, General Hospital meets, Texas. So thank God she chose the ranching, because I really don't know anything about hospitals. I mean, I do, but, how romantic can a hospital be? Love in the time of hospital bacteria-resistant. No, it's a terrible idea. I am not. Well, I don't want to say never, because you never know. Maybe hospital romance is an up-and-coming genre that needs a new series. Okay. My story, the whole ranching series, is inspired by my Uncle Virgil, Stanley, who was a cattle rancher for a bazillion years and loved family and friends and ranching. He loved children and telling stories about World War II, and I was lucky enough to be his niece by marriage. I miss you, Uncle Virgil. Tell Jesus I said hey in heaven, because you better be in heaven. Otherwise, it's going to be a dark day when we all go up to meet you, and you're going to have some splaining to do. Well, they are inspired by Virgil, my ranching uncle. My characters are always inspired by friends and family. My protagonists are always people I like. My antagonists are always molded after people that I don't like. So it's interesting, though, that I can create a character based on you, name it after you, they look like you, and yet you have no idea that I don't like you. So read my books if you want to see if you're on my shit list or not. I love that I get to spend time in a made-up world doing whatever I want to do. I can make these characters do, say, feel whatever I want them to. I'm the boss of my own made-up world, and that's appealing to me. When you read, you get to visit my world. When you're me, you get to live in it all the time. Occasionally, reality breaks in, but not that often. I would say that you need to sit down and write the book. And you don't need to stress over where the commas go or what the mechanics are of writing. If you are a writer, you need to tell your story. It's an important thing. I think a lot of people, they're overwhelmed by starting a book. Where do I start? Well, you don't have to start at the beginning. You could start in the middle. You could spend 10 minutes a day just thinking about where you want to take this book. You can plot everything out. I'm not a plotter, but I know people who are, and they do very well at it. I write by the seat of my pants. We're called pantsters. And I'm just convinced that a pantster is a plotter who never writes anything down, because come on, I mean, we all know where our stories are going. You have to, or otherwise you would just stare at a blank page for days and days and days and never knew how to move the story along. So if starting a full manuscript is daunting for you, then take 10 minutes out of your lunch hour and write down character names. Write down things that you want this character to do. What does this character believe? Where do you want to set this story? Setting is also a character. Spend time researching what this character wants, why they can't have it, and what they're willing to do to get it. So that, in a nutshell, is goal, motivation, and conflict. Goal is, what does the character want? Why do they want it, which is their motivation, and then why can't they have it? There it is. Goal, motivation, and conflict. You can buy my books at Amazon or anywhere books are sold. I walked by the book section one year, a long time ago, of Walmart, and one of my books was there. It was a huge moment for me. That, and I mean, there are writing milestones. When you see your first book in print, when you hear your first audio version of a book that you wrote, when you get your first prison fan mail, is also, it's a big high. And seeing your book in a store. So you can buy my books on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. I'm sure they will find my book and sell it to you. Have a great day.